In this video, I'm going to try and create something sci-fi in 10 minutes or less. Right now, the time is 1:06 a.m. So by 1:16 a.m. or 1:17 a.m., I'm going to try and have a complete version. Whatever it is what's going to be rendered. So without any further ado, let's start right off. It's still 1:06, but I'm going to give my time till 1:07. Let's start off by deleting the default cube, adding in a UV sphere, because that's going to be our main sci-fi object. Let's just grab it on the z-axis, and let's also place the camera accordingly right from now itself. So let's go to 0, N, view, camera to view, and just place the camera to somewhere I like. Camera, I'm going to change the viewport display. I'm going to remove the passport out, and I'm going to change the resolution to the vertical aspect ratio because I will release this as a reel, which is 1080 pixels by 1920 pixels. Okay, now that we have the camera somewhere that we are happy with, let's go and see what the values are and just give these the closest values. So that should be a 0. This probably a 90, 0, and 0. Okay, now let's just grab it 0 again. All right, I think this is what we're going to go with. Now let's see. This sphere, let's give it some sort of organicness. So let's first control 2 with the sphere selected so that it gets a subdivision surface of level 2. Let's just make sure that it's shaded smooth. Now let's give it a displace modifier. Let's add in a new texture. Now let's go to the texture and give it from image movie to, let's try something like Musgrave maybe this time. All right, no, I'm not liking that. Voronoi clouds, marble, nope. Okay, I think I'm just gonna end up going with clouds as I always do, almost always at least. No, let's see, magic, no. This is what's gonna take me most of my time. Voronoi, no. Okay, I'm just going to go with cloud itself. That was a lot of worry for no reason whatsoever. But all right, so now we need this to actually change shape organically. I don't want it to be cloud. Okay, let's just go with magic for now. So I'm going to change the coordinates to object shift A. I'm going to add in a new empty plane axis. Let's give this modifier the empty as the object coordinates. Now when I actually move the empty, that's how it moves. Okay, it'll do. So let's just take this, GZ it up. Let's see how I'm doing on time. Okay, I have 6 minutes remaining. Wow. Shift A, add in a curve. Oops, X delete, Shift A, curve, circle, GZ, shift it up. Okay, let's take this. Let's add a constraint. Follow path, this particular curve, Alt G, and now take this. Let's make this render 300 frames long or 10 seconds long. Maybe 150 itself would be fine. 5 seconds long. Let's go I, and then 150, and then go 100 and hit I, G -1. Okay, AT linear, and that works. Now we have to surround this with something, maybe something like a container. Okay, let's just add in a UV sphere, GZ, grab it up. Okay, scale it up as well. That's fine. Control 2, tab into edit mode, A, Switch on transparency. B, select this entire half. 1, B, and then select this entire half. Now P, select by selection. Let's go down here, switch this off. Tab. Okay. GX, just move it by that much. Okay, GX, move it by that much. Okay, I think that was also moved a bit too much, so just GX. Let's see, 0.5 here as well. GX minus 0.5. Okay, now let's give this some thickness. So add modifier, solidify, give it some amount of thickness, maybe 0.1. Take this, Control L, copy modifiers. Okay, I have 4 minutes remaining, or 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Okay, so now add in another subdivision surface right here, and object shade smooth. Okay, so now end camera to view. Let's switch that off so that I can zoom in peacefully. Okay, this looks fine. Now let's deal with materials for everything. Okay, I want these two to also rotate, so I'm just going to Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A, empty, plane axes. Let's just scale those up. Take these two, take this, Control P, 1, go to 0, I, rotation 150, RZ 180, no, oops, RZ 360, I, rotation, T, linear. Okay, I also want this frame rate to be 30 frames per second. Okay, now let's just Shift A, wait, Shift S, cursor to world origin, Shift A, mesh, plane, scale it up. Okay, there we go. Now let's switch that off. Amazing. Let's go into our rendered view. Most of my time is going to go off in just this buffering because my laptop cannot handle the rendered view in EV either. So I just wonder what would happen if I was doing this in cycles. Anyway, let's see. Now let's take this light, Alt G, GZ, move it up, or actually move it behind. Okay, wait, GX, somewhere like that, maybe. First, let's give this its materials. So material, new, I want this to be some sort of glass. So while okay, I'm going to give myself 5 extra minutes because of lag. So I'm going to call this glass. Let's see. Transmission has to go all the way up. And my laptop is buffering as well. Okay, now blend mode, alpha blend. Okay, again, laptop's buffering there. Show backface, switch that off. And switch on screen space fractions. All right, over here as well, we're going to have to switch on bloom, switch on screen space reflections, as well as refraction down here. Okay, so that gives this its glass material. Let's take the same thing over here. So Control L, link materials. Now take this, give this its own material. Let's see. Base color, let's make it a nice blue. Okay, I want some more light. Let's see, is this light strong enough? It's not quite strong enough. So let's see, let's just G around. I think light from behind is good. Or Shift D, Y, a light from in front. Yes, Shift D, X, G, GY. Okay, G, Shift D, X. No, sorry, oops, Control Z, Control Z. Okay, Shift D, Y. Yeah. Okay. So I don't want these to have shadows, so let's go down here, shadow mode none, take this as well, shadow mode none. Okay, so there. Okay, I want to reduce the roughness of these glass materials as well. Just take the roughness down, because by default EV glass materials have roughness, so it's alright. Okay, there we go. Now let's give the floor something really nice. It's 117. I gave myself 5 extra minutes, so new material, we're going to call this the floor. I want some type of waves to come out, but metallic waves, so go to the shader editor. I think I know how I'm going to do that. I'll add in everything to waste the least amount of time, so waves, wave texture, alright, shift A, color ramp. Let's put this right in there, and from bands, rings, Z, Control T, object. Now we're going to bring this in and this in. We're going to add in a bump node. We're going to put the color into the height and the normal into the normal. The moment I do this, it's going to lag, so I'm just going to start off by reducing the roughness quite a bit, increasing the metallicness quite a bit, and now we place the roughness into the normal. Okay. So now we have that. Perfect. We just need to scale this up quite a bit, so that looks nicer, I guess. I feel like this camera should be looking down a bit rather than straight on. So let's just go to frame 1, frame 0. Let's go to the position of the camera, rotate it on the x-axis by not 90 but less than 90, and then just move it up on the z-axis. So there we go. Now it's more focused on the object. You can see this. Now take this object, let's see. Let's put this in, push this up. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Take this phase offset hash frame by -10 maybe. Let's see if that looks good enough. Let's change this playback from play every frame to frame dropping. And okay, that works. You're getting the reflections as well. Take this base color, reduce, put the base color a bit lower, just a bit, or a bit higher. A bit lower, I guess. No, a bit higher. That's what I'll go with. Because the world, I will also make the world completely white. Okay, that's one way of looking at it. Okay, that looks nice. It looks like the waves just go into infinity. Let's make the waves a little bit more prominent. So, yeah. Yeah, that actually looks nice. Oh, I just want to see what the world looks like when it's dark. Oh, that also looks really good. Okay, now I don't know what to do. I have 2 more minutes and I just have to hit the render. But what do I do? Okay, so this is what I am going to do finally. I am going to increase the length of my render to 300 so that it's a 10-second thing. Go to 150. Take the world background. Let's shift it up to white and just hit I. Then go to 151. Take it down all the way to black and then do that. So now it just changes color. Oh, of course I have to change the animation for all of these. So this particular thing, let's see. There's a circle. Let's go to 300, 200, hit I, and of course this one as well at 300, make it 720 and hit I. Okay, so now that's it. I am in time, I guess, given the 5 minutes that I gave myself extra, but that's it. Now all I have to do is render it. So I will just switch settings and hit the render accordingly. So from PNG, it has to go to FFmpeg video. No other changes will be made to this for now. Okay. So this is the final result. I guess that's something different that I did. So that ended up taking me 15 minutes instead of the 10 minutes that I aimed for initially. Hopefully, I can speed up the process and figure out ways to speed up my workflow from next time and make sure that it finishes within the time given. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this gave some sort of inspiration. I will see you in the next one, and until then, stay creative.